Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Steve. I'm a realtor out here in the Los Angeles San Gabriel Valley with Suarez Realty Group. And today I wanted to discuss renting versus owning. I had a couple of people ask me about that and kind of wanted my personal opinion on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about that today and hopefully you find some value to that. So grab a cup of coffee like I do here and what's up, guys? So like I said, my name is Steve. I'm a realtor in the Los Angeles San Gabriel Valley with Suarez Realty Group. And today I kind of wanted to discuss renting versus owning. No right or wrong answer, just my own personal opinion. I've had some people ask me my opinion on this. I've got some buyers that I'm working with like that. So they've kind of asked me, we just kind of discussed that. So again, there's no right or wrong. I think it's just all preference, where you're at in life, what you want, what you're looking to do. So this is just my own personal opinion. So let's talk about owning a house. I think owning a house is great, right? So financially, I think it makes sense if you're ready to do that. Some of the things you want to consider when you're going to buy a house is more than likely you're going to need a down payment, and that can range anything from 3% all the way up to 20%, or you can come in all cash. It's just a matter of where you're at in life, how much you can come in with. But do consider that if you do less than 20%, more than likely, in most of the cases, you're going to have to pay a PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And that's something that the lenders tack on in order to protect themselves from any type of defaults. There's that. The other things that you're going to want to consider is there's home insurance. There's the PMI, there's the home insurance, and then there's taxes. Those are the three things that more than likely everybody kind of tends to pay if you're coming in with 20% less. Now, the other things that one of the biggest things I think a lot of people forget is the upkeep of owning a house. There's the maintenance, right? It's the maintenance costs. There's everything from light bulbs that I like to consider all the way up to ACs, roofs, plumbing, electrical, the maintenance of the property itself on the outside, the landscaping and so on. So as time goes on, it does cost to upkeep a house, right? So those are some of the main things that you kind of want to consider. Now, on the flip side to that, you have renting, right? So with renting, it's a little bit more flexible, I like to think, because you could actually decide on how much you could afford, right? You can pick a spot where you're going to be comfortable paying a rent, a certain dollar amount. At the same time, more than likely you're might need the home or the renter's insurance, which is going to be a lot less than homeowner's insurance. And then at the same time, they're going to ask for a deposit, which is probably not going to be as much as if you were to buy a house with closing costs or a down payment. Okay. Now, as far as maintenance goes, that's one thing. As a renter, more than likely it's going to be a lot less. It is going to be a lot less than if it was to buy a home, right? So electrical goes out, plumbing goes out, AC goes out, you have a roof that leaks. It should be the landlord's and the property management responsibility to get that fixed on a timely manner for you. Again, it's just financially, it sounds that renting might be a better option if you're just not really in the mood to be spending so much money with maintenance, right? With all these little things that come up with owning a house. And let me tell you, they come up because I've been a homeowner for most of my life, and there's always something that comes up. But luckily for me, I've been able to save a lot just for the fact that I'm a do-it-yourself type of person. So I love getting in there, getting underneath the house, fixing plumbing, electrical, anything that needs to get done where I'm not going to die, I'll do it. So there's that, okay? Kind of consider that. Owning a house, there are benefits, right? So some of the benefits to owning a house, it's your house. You could do whatever you want with it. You can have parties. You can be as loud as you want. You can paint it whatever color you want, as long as you're not living in a community with HOA fees where they kind of restrict some things like that. But for the most part, as a homeowner, you don't have to worry about people up above you, people below you, screaming, yelling, the grumpy old man across the way. If you're living in an apartment, it's your house. You do whatever. That's something that is just an awesome feeling, right? It's a great feeling to be able to get up, to go outside, have a cup of coffee, walk around your own yard, and just do whatever you want. Really, that's a great feeling. Now with renting, though, you're gonna have that if you're living below somebody, you might have that one person just there's just noise going on. There's things that you have no control over. um, yeah, I mean, that's just fact right there, right? So unless you're renting a house, you're in an apartment. I mean, you're going to have people next to you, on the side of you, up above you, below you, and just everywhere and anywhere. And the privacy is very minimal to if you were to if you're a homeowner, right? So there's that. Those are the drawbacks to renting. But I do want to say with renting though, depending on where you're at, again, the maintenance fees are going to be a lot less. A lot of times utilities are included in your rent. Maybe you're living in a complex or a house that has a pool. Some of these newer builds, these luxury apartments, I mean, it's like a resort, really. So you've got like everything from gyms to like clubhouses. A lot of these places have like special events. They have movie nights. They have pools. They have parties. It's like living in a resort, to be honest with you. So, but again, you might be paying a lot more for a place like this. So depending on where you're at. But again, there's the advantages of that. Some people love that idea, not having to mow their own lawn or to fix anything. They're fine paying a certain dollar amount to have all those amenities. Where as a homeowner, you might not have that unless you bought the house with a pool or it has its own gym. But for the most part, those are things that the house is not going to come with. So, something to consider. So like I was saying, so basically like it really comes down to preference, guys. It comes down to where you're at in life, what you're looking to do. There's no right or wrong as far as renting versus owning. It's just a matter of where you're at in your life, right? Can you afford a house? Can you not afford a house? I think a lot of us can afford the payments of a house for the most part, especially out here in Southern California, where mortgage payments and rent is pretty much equal. It's about the same. So it's not that you can't afford the payment. I think a lot of times it's just the affordability in a long-term basis, unless you have I like to think of it like your life should be growing, right? So your income should be growing. If you have a family that's growing as well too, maybe there's a partner, maybe there's a spouse together. Obviously with two incomes, it's going to be a lot easier than if you were a single person. Not to say that it can't be done, because a lot of people do it. It's just over time, I think owning a house is going to be a lot more expensive than it would be to own, right? So don't ever look at it like you're throwing your money away when you're renting, because renting does gives you a lot of options that you don't have when you're owning. Because again, financially, sometimes the house will own you as opposed to you owning the house. And with renting, it gives you the flexibility to move around. You could also do something less expensive than if you were to have a house. And it gives you the ability to save, and that way you get ready to buy a house. So there's really no right or wrong here. I think it's just a matter of what you want to do, where you're at in life. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to help you guys out. If you want to see if you're thinking about maybe buying a house and you're not sure if you qualify to buy a house or how much you qualify for, feel free to give me a call. I'll have my information down here somewhere. Feel free to call me, text me, send me a message. I would love to help you guys out. All right. Anyhow, thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.